Welcome back, everybody. This is Excel Video 510. I'm Nate Moore. On my way to speak for New Jersey MGMA's annual conference. We've done a pre-conference there for years with different Excel topics that has driven attendance and also provided a great education value to a bunch of participants to just bring them up to speed on ways to make their life easier in their practice. If you'd like to add value to your next conference, I'd love to present. What we're going to do today is play a little bit more with the different types of maps that we can do. Let me close the tour like we have been doing, and we're going to change from this bubble to a heat map. As we do, watch in a bubble map, I can do location, size, category, and time. When I change to a heat map, location stays the same, but I lose the category. I can't do multiple categories. Last time we did hospital versus provider when we're looking at this CMS referral data and trying to figure out where our patients are coming from. I don't get that option anymore. I get location and value and time. So location and time stay the same, but now I have this value. And look what Excel's doing for me. I get this box over here, and again, I could change the name here. Besides source, I could change this to whatever I wanted to call it so that this didn't say source. This is now Nate. But if we open it back up, what a heat map does is it shows cool colors, if you will. This is where there's not very much activity, to warmer and then hotter colors where there is more activity. So rather than showing heights of columns, we're showing this color change over a geographic area so we can identify here's a big one, here's a big one, there's a big one, and here's a big source of referrals. Now, what we can do that we have this is we can come over here to the layer options here, and let me just scroll up there. Show you a couple of options here. The data card you're used to and show value 0, negatives you're used to, and visually aggregating based on a sum of the data based on the average you're used to. Here are the things that are a bit different. What the color scale does, watch what's going on here, where blue starts at 852 and over at 1050 we're working our way to red. If we were to throw this up to something in the range of 200%, see how the rate changes 418 to 5176, and let's go back down somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 852 to 1050. You can change the scale of the colors to make things more or less dramatic over time. This makes my heat map look a lot hotter at these points, or I can scale it back down. What a radius of influence does is these are points on the map. I can make those points bigger. Let's just drag it way out there so you can see. For the most part, I'd leave the radius of influence alone, but you can, if you're trying to spread over a larger geographic area, you can make those heat points expand if you need to. The other thing I wanted to show you just briefly on heat maps is this color scheme. The default is from cool colors like blue through warmer colors and then up to red. You could do custom, and then what low to high does here is by default low is white and high is blue, and you can change to whatever kind of color scheme you need. For my purposes, I think folks are generally used to a heat map, so I use the default colors. But again, if you wanted to go from one color to the other, I probably wouldn't do white just because it's going to be hard to see white on this map. But you can do whatever you need to get the effect you're looking for. That is a heat map. Stay tuned next time. We're going to talk about what's called a region map. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching.